guys, it is April from Getting Hookah With It. Today, it is Friday. I've had a pretty stressful week, so I've got my wine because that just feels good on a Friday. And today I wanted to do the Booktube Newbie Tag 2.0 with you. The first question is, what genres would you like to see talked about more on BookTube? Well, I do find that there's a lot of YA on BookTube. Not that that's a bad thing, but I don't really read a lot of YA. So I would personally like to see more horror. I'd also like to see more gothic romance. As you guys know, if any of you have been watching my channel for a while, you know that I love historical fiction, something fierce. I'm totally in love with historical fiction. So I'd love to see more of that on BookTube. And thrillers. They're covered pretty well on BookTube, but when I find out about a thriller book that a booktuber that I like has, raved about, I get so insanely excited. So the more thrillers, the better, because it's really hard to cut through the clutter that is the thriller genre. A lot of them aren't great, and I end up giving a lot of thrillers like 2 or 3 stars. And I would just love to get more like 4 and 5 star thrillers on my TBR, on my bookshelf. Number 2, what do you feel is the best way to make friends on BookTube? Well, firstly, I think that you should find people on BookTube that you would actually be friends with in real life. Like, I feel so very blessed and excited and happy that I started watching BookTube first. I guess it was about a year before I started making my own videos. And in that time, I found people on BookTube that I genuinely thought, like, if I met her in real life, I would probably be friends with her. So I think that's a key. Maybe you have similar reading tastes and maybe you don't, but you just get their vibe and you kind of jive with their personality. And then once you've found those people, just comment on their videos, because BookTube is such a welcoming place. It is so refreshing and lovely. So all you have to do is really comment on their videos and talk to them genuinely, and not like, come and look at all of my videos. Like, none of that. Like, just be genuinely interested in what they're filming about. Number 3, what do you enjoy the most about making BookTube videos? I love talking about books generally, and I really love talking about books that I love, and I also enjoy talking about books that I hate. Like, I can get on a real rant, and it's sometimes really cathartic to just get out the frustration that you have with a certain book. And then the other thing that I love about making videos and watching videos is just finding new books. I have read so many 5-star reads now because of BookTube that I never would have stumbled upon these books before. And if I had stumbled upon them, I might not have picked them up. But it's because of this community that just my reading life is so much better because of BookTube. Okay, so number 4. What do you least look forward to when making BookTube videos? Okay. Cutaways. If you watch some of my videos, I tend to do a lot of cutaways to show the book that I'm referring to. And I don't mind doing it with like actual physical copies that I have. When I'm doing the ebook cutaways, that's a little bit painstaking. I don't know, it's just not as enjoyable, which has made my book hauls just kind of rise up because I want to read more paperbacks or hardcovers. So that's a kind of annoying thing. The other thing that's annoying is just looking alive. On the weekends is usually when I do all of my filming. And so sometimes, to be frank, I don't want to put on any makeup and I don't want to get dressed, and I just want to stay in my PJs look like a grub and not film. So that can be hard. Okay, number 5. What videos other than tags, TBRs, wrap-ups, reviews, and recommendations would you want to see more of? I know my answer to this. As soon as I read this question, I was like, yes, I would like to see more lists. So Russell over at Ink and Paper blog, he is doing this really great series, this monthly series of backlist books. And all it is essentially taking 5 books from the backlist that you could easily get at a library, and talking about the books that he loved that may or may not have gotten a lot of buzz in the past, and he's trying to kind of give it a little bit of a revival. Every time he does a backlist TBR, I'm like, right, just get out the good reads because I'm going to want to read every one that he talks about. I also really like doing themed book lists. I did one video that was like books about murderesses, and that was really fun to put together. I also find book list videos really helpful for certain periods of time in the world. After the US election, Jen Campbell did a video about the books that you should read now that Donald Trump is president. She created this beautiful, wonderful video about the books to read to comfort yourself and the books to read to, try to make change in the world. That video was awesome. So I think those kinds of lists are so incredibly helpful when times get tough in the world. So lists, please, BookTube, make more lists. Number 6, what are some themes you want to see more of or less of in book? I'd like to see a lot less in books and movies, to be honest. A lot less of the theme of unexpected pregnancies, unless it's about like a teenager or something. I feel like a lot of authors will use that theme because it would be something that would happen in your life that would change your entire life and really make you re-examine how you think and feel about things. And that's great. However, my husband and I are going through a very difficult time conceiving. We've been trying for nearly 2 years now. And when I'm reading a book and it's something about like a 40-something-year-old woman who randomly got pregnant, I'm like, it's so frequent that I'm reading about that. If it was infrequent, it wouldn't bug me, but it honestly, it's a bit of a slap in the face. So I want a lot less of that. And I would really like a lot more about the theme of infertility. When you're going through infertility problems, it can be very lonely. Luckily I have a lot of friends who've gone through it, but there is something about a piece of fiction and connecting with a character who is going through infertility or, miscarriages and that kind of thing. Feeling it through another character's eyes and experience is so cathartic. The Light Between Oceans is my favorite book of all time for that reason. It was exactly what I needed. I actually just recently won a Goodreads giveaway for Stay With Me, which is also about infertility. I'm so excited to read that. So I would really, really like to see more of that theme in books because infertility is on the rise, it seems, or it's being talked about more, one or the other. And it's time for this discussion and this very difficult discussion to be had. Number 7, what are some of your BookTube goals? I don't have a lot of goals. I'm trying to do this as it's a hobby. I mean, this isn't my full-time work. So sometimes when I apply goals to hobbies, it can get a little daunting, but I have been trying to release 3 videos a week, and I haven't been entirely perfect with it, but I've been pretty good about it. So I'd say that's a goal for at least 2017, release 3 videos a week. And then my other goal, which I haven't actually said yet to anyone, is that I want to do seasonal week-long video series. So in the summer, I did a Sweet Summer Read series. I'll post that somewhere up here or down below or something. And in that series, every day for an entire week, I would talk about a different thing. So whether it was like the new thrillers that were coming out, or, you know, backlist books that are really great summer reads, books set in summer, that kind of thing. So that seemed to go over really well, and it was really well received, which was really nice, and it was so much fun to do. So I am planning to do a fall series, a winter series, a spring series, and who knows if this just becomes something that I really do every season from here on out. So that is a goal. Let me know if you're excited about that, or if you're like, ugh, enough of you with the seasonal read stuff. What advice would you give a booktuber that has just created their channel? First of all, don't be afraid to upload. It's such a nice community. You will be welcomed. So don't be afraid to press that button. Also, don't feel pressure to read exactly what everyone else on BookTube is reading. Diversity in reading is a lovely thing. Finding those new reads on BookTube is one of the things that I love the most. So don't feel too much pressure to read exactly what everybody else is. It's not necessary. I would say do upload regularly. I think that's made a big difference for me. Just to keep going with BookTube is uploading 3 times a week has really made that difference for me. Even 2 times or 1 time a week. But just being consistent and uploading regularly is a good thing, I'd say. Number 9, what are some qualities or traits that you look for when it comes to watching other booktubers? One of the things that I personally look for is someone who's a little bit calm. Some channels that I happen upon, it starts and it's like there's an explosion of energy, and I get really exhausted right away. I wish I had like a tiny, like smidgen of their level of energy, because I feel like I could run marathons or something like that. But I really like a conversational kind of booktuber, so I look for that in someone's channel. But if that's not you, don't do that, you know? You do you, for sure. And like the tiniest bit of professionalism. And when I say that, I don't mean like wear a business suit. Like at all. I mean like make sure that the sound isn't crazy in the background, like there's not a jackhammer right beside your camera. Make sure that I can actually see you, and that it's not entirely dark. A little tiny bit of editing is nice too. But again, it doesn't have to be perfect at all. It's just something that I tend to look for. Number 10. What is a fun fact about you or a hobby besides reading and writing that people on BookTube might not know you have? I have answered this in another Q&A video, but just quickly, some of my hobbies are decorating my home. We just moved into this townhouse about a year-ish ago, and I'm loving decorating my home. That's one of my passions. Singing, I love singing. No, I won't sing here. Don't worry, that would be annoying. And I really love all things like beauty and makeup and skincare, and yeah, I love that kind of thing. Finally, which booktubers do you tag? I would like to tag some somewhat new booktubers. Mary at Happily Ever Esh, Katie at Girl About Library, and Lindsay over at A Wandering Reader. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!